Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new entry in the Alpha Stream commentary series, Sierra Championship Boxing. Tonight, and throughout the series, we will see boxers from history up to the mid-'80s challenging created characters that, honestly, I kind of found on this copy of the game on the internet. It's a boxing simulator. We started out with 30 boxers that were pre-built into this game, all based on a historical boxer. And the other 26 that are in these records, people made, and that's what showed up here. Those of you who follow boxing may recognize the first 30 names and even a couple of those in the latter 26. Now, the latter 26 were created characters. They may be based on the boxer if they're a boxing name, or they may not. We won't know until we see them fight. Drawings for this 55-match tournament were made prior to going live. And with that, let's get to this. First thing we need to do is set the rules and guidelines for the first round of the tournament. Here's how the rules alternate. Early on, we'll see scoring done by round. So the judge will say either one guy won the round or the other guy won the round. Or it'll be a 10-point system where the better you did, the more points you get. And that will basically determine your decision if you get all the way through the time limit. Each round can be either 1 minute or 3 minutes. The number of rounds can be anywhere from 1 to 15. Here's how that's going to look to start out. The first round, if you win the round, that's it. You win the round. No points, nothing tricky, fancy like that. This is just meant to be a quick preliminary little thing to weed out those that are not good enough to play in the later rounds. 1 minute a round, 5 rounds. Now, there are different modes of play if you're interested in the game itself. There's a strategy mode where you'll be given a list of options before each round, and your boxer will act according to whatever you tell him. Or there's arcade mode where you can actually mash keys and play it yourself. But what we're going to do, because this is more a commentary series than anything else, I'm going to set simulation mode, which means let them go. So this is the Sierra Boxing Association. I am, for tonight at least, your lone commentator, AlphaStarDX. Oh shit, hold up. There we go. And let's get to the fighting. Or the big-breasted ring girl, whichever you prefer. We're only going to play that intro once per night. So like I said, there were drawings to start. And the first 24 matches comprise round 1. We're going to see 48 of these boxers compete there. And by luck of the draw, 8 of them we will not see in action until round 2. So, let's get on with our first match, which was drawn to be Johnny on the left corner up against Marcus in the right. So you can see the odds for this fight. See the tail of the tape here. There's a big weight tipping toward Marcus here. They've both got a 99-inch reach, which is unbelievably outside of reality for any boxer. Marcus towers over Johnny by almost 2 feet here. Johnny's got a record of 17-19. Close to the middle, but still on the losing side. And then there's Big Marcus, who's had 120 fights in his career and has not lost once. So, yeah, this, in theory, should be a complete and total blowout. But we will see. Let's get to it. We won't get to it? All right. Minor technical difficulty. Let's try this again. All right, we may have a little problem here. All right, let's get this fixed. Stand by a minute. Da-da-da-da-da. Around 1:05, no intro. You know what, just for shits and giggles, is it the boxer that's the problem? This will not be a real fight, so don't quote this. Okay, so it looks like there's just something wrong with the with one of the boxers. That's going to make for an interesting situation here. All right. Then let's QA this a little bit, shall we? Is 33 the offending boxer? Is Marcus an offending boxer? We're going to end up having this problem with all of the built-ins. No, not necessarily. All right, so I guess 33 and 48 are both disqualified as a result of, well, that. So that's going to happen. Utter shame, man. All right. Well then, with that having happened. You know what? I'm going to do a little bit of research. Stand by. I will be back. Yeah, sadly, I'm not finding much in my preliminary research here. So, it is what it is. Match number 1 is a double no-show draw. Let's try again with match 2. And by the way, out of the first 30 boxers, if anybody's interested in looking up the real boxers to add to their imaginative experience here, feel free. But I can tell you, next up is seed number 4, who is Max Schmeling, followed by number 45, Scott. All right, well, we're looking at the same odds as the last fight. I'm going to move this over here so that I can see my screen in full. There we go. Somebody seriously powered up the creative characters, I will tell you that. I mean, this young pup, Scott, maximum weight, max reach, max height, 100 fights, completely undefeated. Now, looking back to the side of reality, we've got Max Schmeling, age 29 at the time that this game was put out, 189 pounds, reach of 76 inches, height 6'1", 51 fights, with a record of 47-4. That's a lot more realistic, but unfortunately does not bode too well for him. Provided, of course, this works. So let's find out. And by the way, I have to slow this down to 230 cycles off the default 3000, or it will run way too fast, as you were seeing during my preliminary testing. Oh, Lord, we're having further problems, it looks like. This is getting annoying. All right. Is Schmeling a problem? Yeah, Schmeling is a problem. This is ruining my tournament, man. Holy shit. All right. Is Scott a problem? Well, the record will show that Scott showed up, but Schmeling did not. So, Schmeling is out. Scott will move on. Updates, updates, updates. This is going to be one sad show. Alright, well, this one should work because it is between two legitimate boxers. So, let's bring on who have we got? For match 3, we have Primo Carnera battling Max Baer. And look at this. Two real boxers. Two very legitimate tales of the tape. The stats are quite nicely tipped toward Carnera. He's got the experience edge, 76-5 against Baer's 37-7. And yet it claims odds are even. So who can say who's going to win this one? Only one way to find out. And that's hopefully if they work, because we already had one legit boxer run off on us. Here we go. One of these fights eventually is going to work. What is up with this? All right. Well, I got to do the normal thing here. Is it Carnera? Looks like it. Is it Baer? Baer's no good either. Oh, this is sick. This is sick. And just like that, we've got a third round match set up. Not how I was expecting this to go. Well, let's try and move on then. How about Ernie Terrell versus Mike T? Who, if I were to guess, would be Mike Tyson, although he's, well, let's just say this ought to be a blowout. If it's even fought. Sure. Will this work? Yeah, it's gonna work. Finally, we have a fight. There's the bell. And this is, well, slated as match 4. Now listen carefully to the punching sounds as time goes here. You're hearing some bumps and some toned impacts. That last punch, you heard a very noticeable toned impact there. I don't know why the ref is still counting. That toned impact right there is a real hit. The smaller scuffs you hear are like glancing blows or blocked punches or what have you. Basically, you know when somebody really just took one. Oh, hard body blow right at the end of the round. They call that saved by the bell. Terrell's already tired, but Tyson, quite obviously, the winner of that first round. Now you'll see injury stats and previous round scores in between. When injuries begin to happen, I'll explain what happens. 5 rounds of this. Very short preliminary rounds. Or preliminary matches. Ooh, hard one to the face. And by the way, that's obviously not Mike Tyson. Tyson being backed up to the ropes, despite his obvious size advantage, and down again goes Terrell. Is that it? No, he's gone. And Mike T is going to move on to the next round. So he moves on to match 27. There you go. That didn't take long. And now we move on to match number 2. 2 more creative characters. We got Skippy and we got Tyson. Well, Tyson looks a lot closer to what Mike Tyson actually may have been, except for a couple things. One, Tyson did not lose that many fights in his career. Number 2, he was not 7 feet tall. And number 3, I don't think he would ever have fought a guy with those physical attributes. Well, the odds are 2-1 with Skippy. Oh, that explains 1 or 2 things. Skippy's a kangaroo. And also, Tyson is obviously not Tyson. Again. Looks like Skippy's the one being backed up a little bit here. Both taking cautious approach. Getting glancing blow. Oh, there's a 1-2. Tyson getting a couple in as well. This may be an interesting fight, folks. Kangaroo's clearly a little bit tired, but he was also quite clearly on top that round. Tyson not afraid to get in on that long reach. There's a hit. Not much action that round. But Skippy did get a nice shot in on Tyson's ribs. Okay, so injuries happen in 3 stages in this simulation. First stage is kind of a warning toward a bigger thing. Second is more severe and can lead you to a match-stopping injury, which is strike 3. Some second-tier injuries can be pulled back from into stage 1. Others can't. I will tell you right now that the bruised rib, if that gets pushed a step further, cannot be pulled back from in this fight. Tyson's going to be favoring that midsection, I'm sure, as we keep going here. Ooh, there's another body shot right there. And one to the face. Tyson's getting pounded, but he's still standing. He's taking a lot of hits. No doubt in my mind, Skippy won that round too, which means Tyson is going to have to make the knockout or he will lose by decision. And there's that stage 2 injury, broken rib. Obviously, you're not going back to bruised anytime soon. And if Skippy keeps going after that midsection, Tyson could be pulled from the fight due to grander injury. If Tyson can pull out this knockout, it would be a miracle. And look at that. He's starting back at the ropes. He's already backing up as far as he can. You see Skippy going right for that body. And Tyson defending it fervently. Is he going to be able to last the rest of this fight? And you better believe that rib is going to pound his stamina too. He's still in it. And now Skippy's starting to burn himself out. This is it. Final round. Can Skippy put Tyson away definitively? Or can Tyson pull a miracle? Or will Skippy just play defense and take the decision? Oh, there it is. One last pounding to that rib, and Skippy moves on. Three, four. Not very often you get to say that you beat your opponent so bad that they had to withdraw, or the referee had to withdraw them from the fight. Tyson did get Judge 3 to give him a sympathy vote, at least. So, hey, that's something, right? All right. Who's up next? It looks like Gene Tunney will go up against Glenn McCrory. And this is almost not even fair. Scales are very tipped in Tunney's favor here. All the experience, 76-1 against 16-2. Experienced, but a relatively green record. More weight, more reach, more height, more fights, older. Oh, did I screw something up? I did. That's Curry. That's not who I was aiming for there. What the hell did I do? How did I end up with 228s? I screwed something up here. Hold up. That's why. I accidentally retyped that as a 28. All right. My bad. Let's try that again. Gene Tunney versus McCrory. Oh, God. That's even worse. All right. Well, the odds have doubled toward Tunney. Height's the same. He's got the reach advantage. He's still got the experience advantage by very, very far. Yeah, basically everything I just said during my mistaken selection is where we are here. So let's try it and see. Oh, it's not going to be Tunney. Is it that it's not going to be Tunney? Right. Is it that it's not going to be McCrory? Okay. So McCrory showed up. And is going to move on to face Skippy. Draw. Make sure I did this right here. Match 3 was a draw. Match 4 went to match 4 went to Mike T by knockout. Match 5 went to Skippy by injury. Match 6 went to McCrory by forfeit. Terrell KO. Tyson injury. All right, so time to move on to match number 7. Next match, Jersey Joe Walcott battles Nick. Well, shit, to say the least, Nick's a shrimp. Anybody believe in miracles? The odds are 9-2 here. And he even looks it. This first round match ought to be a breeze for Jersey Joe. There you go. Very quickly gets the first real hit. Well, that was quick. Damn, he didn't even stir. No miracle tonight under the Friday night lights. Well, Jersey Joe very quickly moves on. Okay, yeah, that's that. Very good. Okay, next up we have Super T up against Rocky. Could that be Rocky Balboa that we're referring to here? He's got a reach of nearly 7 feet, which I'm not sure I buy. And I definitely don't buy Super T's nonsense for a minute. But despite all of those big physical stats, the bettors are putting the odds in Rocky's favor. Though not by much, only a 6-5 margin. So Super T battles Rocky. Well, have we got a fight? We have not got a fight. So what's up? What is up? All right, hold on. What was my test match last night? Okay. I really do not know what the problem is then. They both worked in separate matches. What I don't... Why would they not work together? I don't get that at all. Oh well. This will make this series a lot shorter than it may have otherwise been. So, Super T does not show up to his scheduled fight. Does Rocky? No. Huh. All right. Let's move on then to match number 9, where we hopefully will see Michael Spinks go up against Tom Baum. And Tom Baum with some kind of stellar record here. Big reach, big height, big weight. 205-1. And then there's Michael Spinks, undefeated for 8 fights, with some big lengths on him, and an equal height. 206 fights at 7, and he's 17 years of age. Why don't I believe that? What was he, boxing in diapers? Well, in any event, he's been named an 8-1 favorite in this fight. Are they here? They're here. And here we go. Well, hello, Michael Spinks. 2 hits and you're on your back. Can you get up? He's up. Another flurry from Tom Baum, but this time he stays up. I can see why he's won so many fights. He's keeping it defensive, though. He's back by the ropes. Oh, now he's starting to come up. No one's showing any signs of fatigue yet. But I mean, how do you not give that round to Tom? One from Spinks, and Tom answers it. They've both landed punches. Tom Baum continuing his relentless assault that last round, but Spinks still not showing any ill effect for it. Two successful 1-2s in succession here. If Spinks' face isn't hurt by now, I am amazed. That's 7 hits in the last 30 seconds. Tough little son of a bitch, though. It took 8 hits for him to drop. But he can't get back up this time. It is done. And Tom Baum is going to get a bye right into round 3 as a result of a double no-show for the last fight. Just updating a little bit here. Yeah, okay, good. How long have we been on the air? Close to an hour now. Okay. Granted, a big chunk of it was attempting to make technical fixes here. Anyway, match 10. We got Randall Tex Cobb up against... Well, isn't this funny? His name's Cobbs. Well, the plural is a 2-1 favorite here. Undefeated for 89 fights. Doesn't have the height or the reach. 350 pounds at 5 foot even. I could only imagine. Good grief. Are we doing this? Nope. At least one, somebody did not show up. Finish this up here. There we go. Okay, so what happened? Was it Cobb? Well, Cobb didn't show. Was it Cobb's? Well, Cobb's the kangaroo did come to fight. Right. Well, next up is a battle between two legitimate boxers. Match number 11 puts Jerry Coetzee up against James J. Braddock. Despite Braddock having greater experience, they may be tipping a 9-5 odds toward Coetzee on physical stats alone. Is it well warranted? Well, we'll never know. Coetzee did not show up. And Braddock did not show up. Well, it looks like somebody else is going to get a bye here. Will it be either Heidi or George Foreman? Well, they're giving Foreman 7-1 favorite. Heidi, tall but a short reach. Not all that much experience. And then there's George Foreman, whose near 7-foot reach kind of speaks for itself in the ring. But that fight's not going to happen either. Let's find out why. Heidi didn't show up. Foreman did. So Foreman is going to see the third round. He's the only one who decided to show up in that bracket of 4. Well, that's half of the first round right there. Let's move into the second and see if we can get us some action from Aaron Pryor and Jack Johnson. And we are looking at an even match here. Experience and big body versus what I would assume to be quickness. The Little Mac versus King Hippo situation, or at least as close to that as you might see in this association. There's the bell, and here we go. First hit to Pryor, right to the face. More accurately, Pryor made the first hit. A very high defense first round in this fight. Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way anybody's hurt. Judge 3 was the only one who could decide, and he decided for Johnson. Despite the fact that Pryor is clearly the one doing the pushing. There's an uppercut right to the jaw. And a straight back. Both managing to get a couple licks in this round. And Johnson quite clearly taking the worst of it. They've each won a round, but I have to think it's advantage Pryor here. Ooh. That shot to the rib even sounded brutal. But now Johnson taking it to Pryor's face. We've already got an injury documented this tournament. We could see another. These guys are turning it up this round. They obviously feel they've spent enough time feeling each other out. Now they're going to go for it. Johnson could still come back for this, but it's going to be tough. Ooh. Johnson saved by the ropes after that body blow. That's maybe why he's keeping himself back, for ease of rebound. Pryor keeping all the heat on Johnson. Johnson's all but done for unless he can find something in this last round. Yeah, it's done. I really don't see Johnson coming out of this. That's the final bell. Let's go to Aaron Pryor. 4-1, no question. Yeah, there you go. Excuse me. So Aaron Pryor is going to move on to round 2. Match number 14, Jerry Cooney and Jess Willard. Advantage clearly with Cooney, 10-3. Good grief. And this is the cool thing about this time machine kind of simulator. You get to see all these historical boxers in their prime from all across the 1900s. And I have to think they're calling 10-3 on youth. Will it be enough? We are not going to find out. Cooney didn't come to the dance. And Willard didn't come to the dance. It's going to be a draw. All right. Match number 15 features Erica versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, obviously, Sugar Ray Leonard has a more, shall we say, respectable body type for boxing. Not to mention he's still got youth. He is slightly less in experience. Erica has won as many fights as Leonard has had. Despite that, I have to think that Erica's lighter weight makes her a serious underdog, and that's why they're calling the odds the way they are. And we're going to see it. Really? Wow. I was not banking on that. One hit to the schnoz was all it took. Leonard's down again. Saved by the bell. Well, folks, we may be surprised yet. Just by the name, I'm going to assume that this creative character was meant to be a woman. And if that's the case, brava. Not a lot happened this round. Leonard did push Erica back to the ropes. But I'm not so sure the judges were really looking at that. This could be an upset, guys. Oh! And a swift body blow from Sugar Ray. Erica's up. And another. Has Sugar Ray found it? Oh, that is such a shame. Erica had it going, too. Well, that's how it's done. Next, Marcus 2 to battle Ken Norton. And this is quite obviously another case of the giant versus the legitimate boxer. And the giant, of course, is the odds-on favorite. 5-2 this time. Certainly not the greatest odds we've ever seen here. That would go to the distinction of Mike T taking down Ernie Terrell. And the giant takes the form of a kangaroo. Kangaroo's taking it to Norton, but Norton found an answer to something. Tough flurry to the face, but Norton's up. Another knock to the face puts him back against the ropes. Norton may be hurt already. Nope. Not at all, but the kangaroo certainly in firm control that round. There was not even a question. Norton's going to need to think of something. Look at the fury behind those punches. Oh, Norton found one. The underdog story, at least to me, is the most compelling. One-two to the kangaroo. And 1-2 back on Norton. That was some action. Let's see what the judges thought of that one. They still like the kangaroo. Norton's tiring himself out, too. Can he turn this around? The kangaroo is down. But only briefly. I thought it was going to be a cautious finish to the round until that sudden 1-2 just before the bell. With that knockdown, it looks like Norton may be starting to turn this around. He's still in it yet. Don't count him out. Looked like Norton almost went down there. He managed to hold himself up. Down goes Norton. Is that it? Looks like he's done. He's done. The only odd bucking we've seen so far this tournament was when Gene Tunney no-showed for his fight with Glenn McCrory. He walked out on being a 7-1 favorite. Every match throughout, it's been the odds-on favorite every time. All right. Next up, we have Larry Holmes up against Joe Frazier. It looks like it's going to be an even match. Very comparable. And two undefeated heavyweights. Holmes has all the numbers. But can Frazier make up in quickness? Ring, ring. Frazier gets an immediate hit. Holmes is firing fast and quick. The judges obviously like his technique. There's a hit. Holmes now taking direct aim for Fraser's face. Pretty effective exchange there. Or, then again, perhaps not. Fraser's working over the judges one by one. Unfortunately, he needs more than one at a time to look his way. Ooh. Couple of rough hits to the face. Fraser's still standing, though, and he answers with one of his own. Neither man has been able to deal any appreciable damage to the other. Fraser now cannot win this one by decision. He's going to have to pull out something aggressive here. He's trying for it, but it looks like Holmes is too fast on the offensive. Well, Fraser's gotten a nod from each judge exactly once. Now, can Holmes get the 5-0 shutout? Or can Fraser pull the comeback? He has to knock Holmes out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. However, it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen at the end of this. It looks like Fraser's still intent on going the distance if he can. Did Holmes do it? He sure did. Unanimous shutout decision. And he did it on a bad rib on top of all that. That's the guts of a true gladiator. Who we got? We got Scott 1 against Bruce. This is interesting. A battle of the lightweights, and region experience may decide it. Actually, no, I jumped ahead a match. Hold on. Let me write this up here. These will be the greatest odds that we'll have seen this tournament, but we're not going to see it just yet. First, we're going to see Marvelous Marvin Hagler take on Richard. Oh, no, these are the greatest odds. $44-1. I mean, have a look at the tail of the tape for yourself. I do not pity this poor child. Well, no, I pity him greatly. I don't envy him. That's the word I wanted. Well, let's see how long it takes. Let's see how long it takes Hagler to deal with this. Yeah, exactly. About 12 seconds. Man, that almost wasn't even worth airing. That was an easy win. So, anyway, about that last fight, or that other fight we were advertising, Scott 1 versus Bruce. This is going to be a battle of the lightweights, but one lightweight clearly outclasses the other. Scott 1 has had one fight, and he lost. And he's got almost no reach. All right, let's go. One shrimp is going to fry and eat the other. I can smell it already. Can he get up? Nope. Another first round beating. Well, with that, only 5 matches left in this first round of the tournament. And we have Dronald to take on Marvis Frazier. We've seen a fight similar to this before. We've seen these exact odds before in such a situation. Let's see it. Somehow this shrimpy looking guy packs all the weight, all the height, and all the punching length. You can't stop Frazier that quickly, though. That should end any surprise on Frazier's part. And now he knows what this guy can do. He's taking the punches and staying up from here on, it looks like. This seems defensive. It may appear to those watching that Frazier's pushing Dronald back, but I'm pretty sure Dronald lured him just to have the security of the ropes in case of something surprising. It's a wonder Frazier's not hurt after all that punishment. Dronald's visibly wearing, but it's getting him results. This should seal the decision. Yep. Now this is where we see What brought Frazier to his own dance in his day? At least that's what we're going to have to see if he's to win this match. Alternatively, he could just give up, take the dive, and send Ronald to the next round. And with that, neither Frazier moves on to the next round. Next up, we have arguably the funniest name in this entire tournament, Suck Job. I was just a little bit curious here. Odds are always going to be even. Well, anyway, he's got Jack Sharkey. And, oh my God. Suffice it to say, Sharkey's going to murder him. I didn't think I would see that. 183-2. And it looks like all men's stats. Well, I guess the only real question is, can Sharkey beat Hagler's record of 12 seconds? Halfway through the first round and only a couple of glancing contacts. Sharkey's taking his time for some reason. Is he saving it for later? Well, the first round goes to Suck Job. But I really get the feeling Sharkey's just lulling him into a false sense of security here. If Sharkey had brought anything, I really don't think the kangaroo would be vertical at this moment. What in the world is Sharkey waiting on? Whatever's his reason, it's going to cost him this match if he stays on the rope and doesn't actually do anything. I gotta tell you folks, I am quite surprised by how this is turning out. See, there you go. One body blow. And all I can say is fucking finally. Had me worried there for a minute. That'll be his claim coming into the second round, that he took down a kangaroo named Suckjob. Alright, well, 3 matches to go. And each one of them is going to be a legitimate boxer versus a create-a character. We got Roberto Duran taking on Jim Pot. You heard me correctly, you're reading it correctly. Jim Pot. And Jim Pot apparently has the physical stats to make him a favorite over Duran's experience. By a 3-2 margin. Not even remotely impossible. But let's see just how this turns out. Must admit, this is the first match in quite some time where we had that happen. So now we know what we got to do. Is it Duran? Yeah. Duran didn't show up. And Jim Pot did. Well, that is going to be a forfeit in Jim Pot's favor. Two to go for this round. Marcus 1. We saw Marcus 2 fight earlier. And yeah, we saw him fight earlier and win. Let's see if his twin, I guess, can do the same against Mike Weaver. Now Marcus is a 2-1 favorite. I'm going to assume being a kangaroo rather than a human, with all the attributes that go with it. But I guess somebody doesn't want to find out. Are we really going to end it this anticlimactically? Whoops. All right. Was it Marcus 1? Marcus 1 didn't show up. Mike Weaver did. So Marcus 1 walked out on a 2-1 favorite. Which means the only odd bucking we've seen so far has been 2 instances of forfeit. And that's kind of a shame. Record will show that that was an upset forfeit. Funny how that works, ain't it? Come on. Don't let this last fight be the same thing. All right. Ivan God and Joe Louis. With even odds. Power versus speed. And we are gonna see it. Okay, here we go. The big man Ivan God coming out swinging right from the start. 3 successive hits to the face of Joe Louis. Louis answers, and Ivan answers again. Louis quickly back up. Pretty good starting showing out of the run gun, or out of the young gun, and it looks like it's going to give him the first round. Some might call this an upset because he's so young, but the bettors sure don't. They're calling this one even, which means nobody's going to be walking out with an underdog bonus here. Well, now Louis is pushing back. It's Ivan that's near the ropes this time. Ivan's putting the work in here and it's showing. The young buck might get the time-hardened professional yet. Down he goes again. But just as quickly as the first time, he's back up. That should seal it, barring a knockout. And it does. What can Joe Louis pull out to get out of this one? Ugh, damn allergies. Well, I don't know. It doesn't look to me like Joe Louis is getting out of anything in this fight. The draw back to Ivan's corner has got to be a lure. To get him on the ropes and get Lewis as far away as possible. It'll pay off if Lewis goes down. And Lewis is finally showing some hurt. Cut on his nose. And despite his injury, Lewis has exactly 1 minute to figure out how to put the big young gun down. Contrary to that, he's still bringing all the fight to Lewis. It's done. Despite that last rally, it was too little too late. Ivan's going to win this thing. He gets the 5-round shutout, and he'll be moving on to face Mike Weaver at the end of the second round. So, we've seen a lot of forfeits. We've seen knockouts. We've seen decisions. And we have seen one injury. One injury severe enough to cause the match to stop. And it's a 5-round shutout for Ivan God, but not that perfect shutout. The perfect shutout would be that every judge, every time, picked you. And with that round having come to an end, the seed numbers will be changing as the eliminated boxers will be taken out. And next time, it'll be round 2, where we will be seeing 7-round fights. Thank you for tuning in. Have an alpha night.